Can't get rid of me, hey, 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 hey. I run the underground like a fucking marathon. I go to sleep in the hard head to the job done. These niggas only put in work when it seem fun. But to be a boss, you gotta have boss rope some. Why should I stunt hard for a bunch of fronters when most of y'all never seen money? Stevie Wonder, to fix the mesh I made, I'ma need more than a plunger. And
making whole scene is sinking. Big dog, about to bring the motherfucking pain. Lock it in, lock it in, lock it in, lock it in, lock it in.
Let's go. Yo. We got a dope one today, man. Yeah. Oh, man. First of all, I'd like to thank all those who've been supporting so far, man. Before I go any further, you know what I'm talking about? We coming close to the end of the season, man. And, you know, I just like to be, I like to show my gratitude for those that do support me. I do try to provide y'all with dope content, and I do more so try to provide y'all with authenticity, realness, rawness, passion, a little humor, you know what I mean, intellect, and a host of other things as I do these episodes, man. And you know what I mean? I've said this in the past, man, being able to kick shit with y'all, this is kind of like therapy for me, man, because when I get to, you know what I mean, see this back, it lets me know, you know what I mean, how many people do be needing to hear some of these words or understand some of these scenarios that I draw out. And, you know what I mean, understand that this coming from a raw place of just true passion of care to want to see you do better, make the right decisions, and understand that a lot of things in life can happen, but you're in control of them. So this, to anybody who had any misconception of what the title of this is, just understand this is nothing but mature conversation that I give y'all. You know what I mean? And normally conversation is hosted between two people. I do understand that. But in my mind, I have a group of people at a table with me, obtaining this knowledge and bantering back and forth with me. That's how I can do this shit so effortlessly.
What?
Effortlessly. Oh. Without having to write it down. Like I told you, that this is scripted. I don't write anything down. You know what I mean? I sit down, I evaluate what comes to mind, and when it comes to mind, if the big fella laid on my heart to talk about it, I just go for it, man. And today is no different, man. Today we got a dope episode. But before we do, it's been a while.
Cut that bitch
It's been a while. Yeah. Yeah. Y'all thought I was too humble. That's the problem. I was too humble. Let me get back in my bag with it. Y'all got the excuses. I know we took a crazy turn. The energy is shifted. Because this is the guy that is at your supply. Paul.
Relax.
This is the Gangster Gentleman Podcast. You understand me? And who am I?
Cut that bitch off.
Who am I? Hold on. Let's get the people what they want. Yeah! We fight! Okay. That is to those who understand and needed that moment and they missed it. Welcome back. I am Mickey J. Analyst. I am your host with the most, and I'm gonna keep it motherfucking cleaner with you than Amish toast. You understand me?
What?
And this is the Gangster Gentleman Podcast. Let's get to it. as I was saying earlier, we try to give authenticity.
What is this?
Hey, we try to give authenticity here on this podcast, you understand me? With that moment that you just saw, you're not going to get that too many other places. Spur of the moment, that thing hit me. Had to get that thing off me. You want to know why? Because at the end of the day, when I say this is coming from the core. You understand me? So, as I was saying, today is no different. If you're coming out the gossip series, just know I appreciate you. I hope you got something out of that. I hope it was just as entertaining and informative as this episode is about today. Because today, we're going to talk about resilience. Fight back! You hear me? Fighting Irish right here. We're going to talk about resilience and perseverance. You understand me? Now, how do you dive into a topic like this? You know, let's start here. A lot of y'all weren't birthed into situations that would either conducive to growth or lucrative to the future success that you're intended to have at some point. Some of y'all weren't birthed into a family that could show you properly how to love, right and wrong, and how to take accountability. Some of y'all weren't giving the surroundings that put y'all in position with certain friends that exemplify what the term means without you having to go through these hardships with certain people and having to see people in unfortunate ways and circumstances. And more importantly, some of y'all weren't given parents that lived up to the hype of the title. Yeah, I think that's a good place to start. I think that's a good intro to what resilience and perseverance breeds. The basis of most of those things. Now, a lot of y'all probably went through life and like a lot of the population, a lot of y'all probably had one dominant parent, right? Whether that the opposite parent who wasn't around, whether they just were absent, maybe they were off and on, or maybe unfortunately deceased, maybe, you know, just plain out didn't want to have nothing to do with you because of certain situations that were tied to you that were out of reach of what, you know what I mean, you had anything to do with. Just a situation of disagreements between adults and one adult just couldn't adult. That's just how life goes sometimes.
Shit like that.
So,
shit like that.
Let's say you come from there. And in those cases, normally you become a village baby. That's what I like to call people like that. People who normally have a primarily one parent that is like a dominant parent. And, you know, everybody familiarizes more with that parent being everything. You know, whether it's mother or father. Understand this. As you grow, as you mature, and you see life and you go through things, never feel like life dealt you a shitty hand. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why, man. This episode, we gonna say some shit, and we gonna say some real shit. Never feel like life dealt you a hand that you still can't win from.
Message.
You dig me? Never feel like just because one parent didn't live up to the hype of a title, that's going to dictate the person that you are, become, and are going to be, far as on the successful side. Don't let one person dictate how your mindset towards other people, situations, and pain dictate how you choose to react to it. Just building it. This is a lot of this shit I'm saying is going to all tie into a bigger picture, I assure you. So, you grew up probably in an interesting situation. Now, just because you had one dominant parent doesn't mean you had a bad life. Let's just make that very clear, and I'm very aware of that. But you do need to understand psychologically what that did to you by watching one parent be everything. Now, we all have to grow up, right? We all have to grow up. It happens. Like, we all have to be subjected to this thing called life. And with life comes evolution. With evolution comes the altering of the character that you grow into and eventually will become, and the mindset that character will build, will bear burden to amongst other people and be labeled as. Now, let's just say this. Let's just start at the bottom, right? Let's start from the mud with it. Let's say you was one of these kids who, you know what I mean, had a dominant parent. And, you know what I mean, like I said, that doesn't mean that you didn't have access to the other parent. That just means that, you know, this parent wasn't the one making all the plays. This parent wasn't the one making all the disciplinary decisions. This one wasn't the one who was really going out their way sacrificing to make shit happen. The person that you lay your head down with and the person that you respect the most normally is the person that's the dominant parent. I mean, I know that can happen when it's both parents involved in a situation, but it's obvious when just one fucking parent doing everything. I assure to those that have that situation. So, let's say you got it out the mud. You was in the trenches with this shit, right? You come from a situation where maybe you was raised hell. It might not even be your mama or your dad. It could have been your grandma, your uncle, your aunt, a big cousin, a sibling. You know what I mean? Or another family member or another family that took you in. Understand this, man. Things that you go through, the things that you go through as a child aren't your fault. It solely is reflected on the person or the people that have put themselves in a position to deem themselves responsible for you. Facts. Right? But this is what a lot of kids go out here and do. Even from back then up to now. Certain kids use certain situations, especially living situations, as an excuse to go out and be fuck-ups. I'm fucking saying everything I want to say tonight. And what I mean by that is, if you have one parent and you've seen that parent struggle, true enough, you're going to want to help this parent. You're going to want to help this parent get to a place of comfortability financially, living-wise, and mentally, because you see the stress, you see the pain, you see the anger, you see the frustration, and you may want to be the hero. Let me tell y'all some real shit. Sometimes when a parent has put themselves in a position to be there, especially if another parent has not stepped up in the manner they have, the last thing they need you doing is going out creating more fucking problems.
Message.
They don't need you going out here, put yourself in a position to be fucking grown, trying to do stupid shit when they've already comfortably took on the responsibility of the stress. They understood the assignment. I might have fucked up with the wrong person, but guess what? That's not your fault. I just need you to do what I'm asking you to do, and that's focus. That's do what you need to do for school. That's do what you need to do for as you being an individual, and do what you need to do for as knowing right from wrong and stay the fuck out of trouble, because all of these things shouldn't be something I have to worry about because I'm already focused on enough. But this is where the bullshit kicks in, right? What happens when you see other families and other kids with nicer shit than what you have? Or what your mama, your dad, or your grandma, or whatever family member that put you in a position to at least have a roof over your ass. A part of you starts to long for that shit because the image that's attached to it sometimes.
Shit like that.
So
shit like that. Shit
sometimes,
like that. Shit like that.
Especially being somebody who comes from the bottom, you put yourself in unfortunate circumstances to obtain it. And it always starts out in a sneaky fashion. Whether you out here trying to backdoor people, finesse people, be on some sneaky robber shit, be on some scam shit, just be on some, you know what I mean, some hothead, hot boy shit, try to be on some young boy, tough gun boy shit. It's a lot of things that mentally you make yourself believe that you need to be or are going to be because you fueled by watching this scenario with your people. And all you want to do is help. Your intent is good. The way you plan on going about it, you've already made peace that it's fucked up, but it is what it is. Because I can't keep watching this shit. Right? Let me tell you some gangster shit, man. Sometimes, hear me good, bro. Hear me good. Because life teaches you a lot when you live it. So I'm telling y'all niggas, especially you youngins, you little YNs, keep living. And the only way you're going to keep living is if you keep listening.
Message.
And the only way you're going to be able to listen is if you shut the fuck up. You ain't got to always feel like you got to listen to what people tell you. But it's best to always fucking take heed. You understand me? I had to understand when people used to tell me, hey, listen, I've been your age. Make it to mine. You understand me? See, that line sound old and corny and all that type of shit until you start moving up in age and you see how fucking tough life can get by making one wrong fucking decision.
Shit like that. Shit like
One
that.
wrong
Shit
decision.
like that. Shit like that. Shit like that.
The worst thing I ever did in life, I mean, it's beautiful now, but it was super fucked up then, is not only did I put myself in a position with the parent that was dominant for me, but I also made her look like she didn't raise me or control the environment she lived in by me fucking up the way I fucked up, and that's going out and having a baby early. I had a baby when I was 16, for those who don't know that I've said it on this podcast multiple times, but to the new people that might be first time watching, I had a baby at 16 years old. So at 16, I had to be forced to do everything the right way. I had to be forced. It was a choice to do the right thing. But the integrity that was instilled in me, the moral, the character, the knowledge, all the things that shouldn't have allowed me to get in that situation had to heighten because now I was forced to be something for something that I created.
Message.
So I had to persevere and be resilient from that point on with no fucking excuses, without putting more stress on the person that had already did their part. That's just one detail and example of what it could look like by one decision. Man, I'm not gonna go into the whole backstory of a lot of shit on that. I just wanted to give y'all an example. So, to y'all that's out here doing all this wild shit, and you got a parent that's worried about you, you got a parent that's trying to calm you down, you out here on some other shit, understand a lot of shit can be solved if you just tell somebody how you fucking feel.
Message.
And why you think it's necessary for you to throw your life away when they're already fighting and struggling to help you maintain it. See, there's always a contradiction in the mindset of a child that's not fully an adult. Your heart might be in the right place, but the way you gonna carry it, you gonna fuck it up for you and whoever else trying to support you and make sure you get through life comfortably without dealing with the shit they had to.
Shit like that. Shit like that.
See, that's what y'all don't understand. A lot of y'all got to understand. A lot of these older people that get on y'all, especially the younger people, and some of these older people who still ain't learned their fucking lesson, a lot of these people who get on y'all motherfucking ass, it just don't be hate. It just don't be motherfuckers wanting to criticize you all the time. It don't be just people who want to just always have something to say. Some of this shit comes from a place of hurt and pain from watching you fuck up and fail continuously and keep trying to do shit your fucking way when all you had to do the first time was fucking listen. Listen. Some of y'all got to start understanding you don't get a reward for creating pain and trauma that you chose to place or put in your life and persevering through that shit.
Message.
You don't get a reward for going out here and being a good daddy after you've made fucking 5 to 10 fucking kids. You don't get a good reward for going out here and being in your late 30s or 40s after fucking off half of your damn prime because you wanted to run the streets or be this extra promiscuous person or do drugs or do some shit that landed you in fucking jail and get out of you chose to get rehabilitated at a later time. Like, there's no rewards for that. It's no fucking rewards for that. Because that's some shit you should have been doing from the jump.
Facts.
It's some shit you should have been doing from jump. All this wanting to be tough, wanting to slide, let me tell y'all some real shit. I think it's funny how a lot of these young people idolize violence so much, but they only idolize the version of the violence that takes life fast.
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that.
If you ain't no real nigga or no fucking real gangster or no OG, you not gonna understand what the fuck I just said, man. Nigga, what happened to these? What happened to these? What happened to you getting out the understanding? I might win, I might lose, but I'm a bang. My respect could come from understanding that I at least got the heart to do that.
Facts.
See, a lot of y'all thought I was just gonna get on some soft shit this episode. Those were jokes. Those were jokes. I just need to lure your ass in so I can say the real shit. I'm not about to spoon feed nobody. Pause. I came here to say some real shit and some real shit. Now we on some trill shit. You understand me? Y'all got to understand. If you got a fucking dream or a goal or ambition to do anything in life, understand there's always going to be somebody in the way that's going to try to derail them.
Message.
And how you choose that route of how you want to pursue it, whether it's the fast way or the long way, It's going to come with a price in the end, whether it's good or bad. But it always starts with knowing that you caused it by your choices. See, when you persevere through something, it's normally something that's designed that wasn't truly something you created. Perseverance is based off circumstances that happen and situations that happen that cause you to have to muster up the strength internally from a higher place most of the time to not only carry on, but find a way to get along, to move on, to get to the place in life that you truly belong. But somewhere along that ride, y'all started listening to these niggas' lyrics and some of these songs and started living a fabricated life with some of these niggas. And started making yourself believe that just being a good guy and living a good life and finding a good job that doesn't need a thug or a street nigga or somebody that scams or sells dope or does all this other crazy shit wasn't cool. See, once you get pulled into the illusion of what life looks like, the exciting side of it, by the time you realize it, it's too fucking late. You either in jail, you got a crazy record from jail, you either don't put yourself in a fucked up situation to either have a good street reputation but not a good world reputation, or even worse, dead. See, being the cool street nigga and all this other shit that comes with an exciting lifestyle is cool until you forced to make a choice. See, for a long time, I had a label put on me because of the way I talk, because of the way I dress, because of the way I conduct myself, and more importantly, from the way I was able to help other people when it looked like I shouldn't have been the person who could help. Because nobody never really knew what Mickey had going on. They just knew he always was having it. And that's gangster. Because I had the heart to give, but I also had enough sense to not let niggas know how I fully live.
Message.
And I always knew I'd never just throw my life away for no bullshit. But when it came to family, when it came to my brothers, when it came to people that I know was on the same shit that I was on, when it came to them, all that shit goes out the window.
Shit like that. Shit like
because
that.
I'm on
shit
that.
Like that. Shit like that. Shit like that.
But that's not the mentality I walk around with. I'm not a tough guy. I'm not no just cause I'm a little bigger and shit. That don't mean I walk around like I'm fucking Popeye and all that shit. I know what that gets you. I'm cool with being the funny cat in the room. Pause. I'm cool with being the guy who talk logical. I'm cool with being the guy who can sit at the table and kick shit and have real dialect, you know what I mean? And just enjoy conversation with none of the bullshit attached to it. Talk about life and growth. Some of y'all gotta understand, it's okay to grow the fuck up. A lot of y'all go out here and y'all chase shit. Then y'all go back and say y'all don't got fucking y'all family fate after y'all done started fucking up y'all life. A lot of y'all was raised right. A lot of y'all was raised in religious families and all of this shit and chose to go out here and started finding other avenues for yourself, and that's dope. I implore everybody to seek as much knowledge in this lifetime as you can. But under no circumstances should you feel like Every time you fuck up and you ask people that you gave your ass to kiss, every time you was having your way, and you come with your hand out, and that's the only thing they know you for. They don't talk to you, they don't see you, they don't hear from you when you up. But the moment some shit go wrong, here you go with the bullshit. And all of a sudden the family fake when they don't want to help is because people get tired of seeing somebody who don't want to fucking win.
Shit like that.
All the fuck they got to do is come on now, somebody. Come on now, somebody. I'm talking to somebody here tonight. I'm talking to somebody. At the end of the day, you got to understand, if the Most High wakes you up and you had a shitty day yesterday, I mean, everything was chaos. It was hard to get out of bed this morning. You had an option. You had an option to get the fuck up. You had an option to sit down and evaluate what was yesterday. And you got an option today to figure out how the fuck can we change what was yesterday today.
Message.
Some of y'all got to put yourselves in the mindset to understand as well. Going out here, put yourself in positions with certain men and women, you can't allow yourself to get distracted in the course of doing what the fuck you feel was helping you win. One thing I learned in life, love can help, love can hurt. Love can help and love can hurt. Because when you get too in love, guess what the fuck you start doing? You start abandoning certain priorities and certain situations and certain obligations that were helping you stay afloat, to not be somebody who had to persevere or be somebody who had to fight back just to get something that they should have never been in the position to lose.
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that.
The hardest thing I had to learn was when you building with somebody, there should always be two people doing construction.
Message.
At all times. If the moment you look over and you start realizing, damn, I'm the only one still building, and this person keep taking all these breaks, this person keep making excuses of why they can't put in no effort to make shit better for the both of y'all, not just themselves. The moment you realize this person is abandoning the goal and the dream that y'all put together as one in their own priorities, in their own personal situations and obligations, you got to make a choice for you now. Because don't let me be a product of your wrongdoing and abuse when it comes to you feeling like you got the time to not put in the effort. The moment you start feeling like that is the moment you're going to start losing. And that's what a lot of y'all do. Y'all go out here and start creating losing situations when you was already in a winning one.
Message.
See what I'm saying? You flip-flopped it. You always stay in the winner's lane, even if it's at the back of it. It's always to be on the cool side of the coin than the bomb side of the coin. I assure you that. But a lot of y'all go out here and do it, especially you young people. You young people go out here with so much fucking entitlement and think you can do what you want in this society with people who still have morals, ethic, and understanding to an old world that they still hold on to. That they're not ready to relinquish to people who have showed that they can't control their own personal life. So how can they be in control of anything else around them?
Facts.
So there becomes a breach of respect which starts causing you to be in unrespected situations with other people. If you don't respect yourself enough to understand your choices only affect you when you lay your head down, they affect other people. Don't get me wrong. Like, people who love you, they affect. But they solemnly affect you. If you die, understand the version of you that died is the version of you that's going to be remembered. I don't think a lot of y'all process death like that. Some of y'all too busy running from reality. But y'all out here playing all these stupid ass games like life ain't precious.
Facts.
Like life can't be took. Like life can't be something that's stripped in the middle of the night for no apparent reason. Who wants to be somebody who comes from the bottom and not appreciate when they're in a position to get to the top? Some of y'all got to understand you can't put other people's traumas off on yourself as if they were yours and you had to live through them and go through life like this is something you had to endure and you had to persevere through that because the person who bled all that shit off on you can't hold themselves accountable enough to confront their own demons, all the while not knowing they're creating one or a couple. We got to start looking at each other through the same fucking hourglass as it's meant to be. Somebody who wants to continuously self-destruct themselves is sure to destruct others that try to love and help them.
Shit like that. Shit like
Whether
that.
they try to, whether they intend to do it or not. So the moment you get labeled as somebody who is out here self-destructing themselves and people stop fucking with you, understand there's still people who care enough about their people that'll tell you you're not their people. You know what I mean? We see what the fuck is going on. You don't have any good intent for yourself, so how the fuck do you have good intent for this person or these people? You're creating a hole for other people to have to dig themselves out of that wasn't even theirs. So understand, all this struggle talk that motherfuckers be talking this shit, a lot of that shit comes from their personal decisions. A lot of that shit comes from the decisions that they made that it was cool when they were getting the fucking way with it. It comes from a place of what they felt they wanted. It didn't matter how nobody else felt. So you give compassion from a fucking distance. Until I see you fight for you, I can only support you from a distance. Until I see you start taking accountability for the situation you put yourself in, I can only fuck with you from a distance. Until I see you learn how to love yourself properly, I can only love you from a distance. See, this shit get deeper than just fucking words. This real fucking life for a lot of people. A lot of y'all go out here day to fucking day impeding your failure on everybody else except for the person that created it.
Message.
Let me tell you some real shit. When I talk to young people that want to listen, I'm as raw as they come with them. I don't got a second to waste with you, young man or young sir. You want to know why? Society ain't gonna play with your motherfucking ass. Society don't care if you don't feel good today. Society not gonna feel like if you choose to work today. Society not gonna feel any remorse for your ass when you out here living in a cardboard box. Society ain't gonna feel no type of way when you get sick and you can't medicate yourself. And society ain't gonna feel no type of way if you have suicidal thoughts because you don't place yourself so far in a certain situation that you don't even want to perceive that it all started with you not fucking listening. Not knowing how to sit your ass down. Not knowing how to put yourself in a position to sit still and keep winning even when you feel like there's more out there for you right now. Instead of exploring those options the right way and not just jumping out the fucking porch and assuming.
Shit like that.
I know people say follow your dreams, chase your dreams. Sometimes you gotta take a leap of faith. But let me tell you something what they don't tell you. Always make sure you jump and leap somewhere where your feet can land on something solid. That's what the fuck they don't tell you. They don't tell you, make sure you're aware of everything around you before you leap. Because you might leap to your fucking death. They don't tell you that. I am currently pursuing a dream and passion of mine. Guess what? I'm smart enough to know I still have to do certain things to maintain a lifestyle and not just solely focus on just this if I need something to fund it. Every dream has to be fueled by something other than passion. And it takes a little bit of money on some time to push that goal and that passion to the place it needs to go.
Facts.
So why would you just stop doing something without making sure your living situation isn't affected?
Message.
Some of y'all get so infatuated with going out here wanting the baddest dude or the baddest bitch, the nicest clothes, the nicest shoes, the nicest crib, the nicest car, the best job, or the best way to get money. I mean, the best image, the best, listen. You know what doing it for people would cause you? For them same people to eventually turn on you the moment they start seeing shit they don't like. The moment they start feeling like you bragging and not inspiring. The moment they feel like that you're in a position that they're not and you tunnel. Always understand, it's cooler just to be humble and run your fucking race and stay the fuck out of fuck niggas' face. Because not everybody's going to understand and appreciate you for what you're trying to be and what you're designed to be.
Message.
Now, I know I've been pretty hard on a lot of y'all tonight. Don't give a fuck. Start there. I don't really give a shit because I care. I give a fuck about what progression looks like for you. So somebody got to say the hurtful shit, pull the band-aid off, and say some real shit to you. But at the end of the day, I will say this. To all those that are right now living a certain way, making certain decisions, creating disadvantages and trauma, and God knows what else in their life, understand this. You can always stop. Right now, at the point you're at in your life, stop. Just stop. Just control, alt, delete from the point you're at right now and try to go back to the point of where it was working for you in life. If that means you got to make it right with certain people, if that means you got to start biting your tongue, if that means you got to start humbling yourself the fuck down, if that means you got to start pushing your pride and your stubbornness out the window so you can get back to a spot where you were winning, if that means you got to dumb down this image that you created for yourself so that you can get back to a place mentally, financially, and physically that you need to. See, perseverance comes with sacrifice. Perseverance comes with sacrifice.
Facts.
Some things you got to let go. Some things you can't do no more. Some places you simply can't go. In order to get back on a successful road. Some of y'all not winning because the person in the mirror want to keep doing it their way. And only want to keep doing it their way because their pride is in the way. The stubbornness of somebody else being right won't allow you just to submit and quit with the bullshit. A lot of y'all are your own worst enemies. A lot of y'all are your own fucking ops. Somebody need to say it. Somebody need to say it. Some of y'all are your own fucking ops.
Facts.
Truly, you versus you. Nobody's going to hurt you more than you can.
Message.
And until some of y'all understand that, you will never get to that place mentally, spiritually, physically, and financially. And in an adult world, romantically. There's nothing else. I mean, some of y'all go out here and expect people to bail you out all the fucking time. Not understanding that you weren't helping anybody when you had it. You didn't have any compassion for anybody. You was out here flexing, stunting, probably downing and talking shit and having your way and having an opinion about everything and everybody, but now it done came to you. You understand me? Struggle done came to your door knocking and you done let it in.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Now you out here searching for a fiend. You understand me? Some shit is just bigger than understanding when it comes to decisions, regrets, the people we allow in our lives that we get a gut feeling about, but we still allow them to come into our space and alter our energy and alter our characters and alter our living situations and alter our financial situations and alter our personal relationships with other people. A lot of this shit be you versus you. A lot of y'all never gonna fucking win because you won't let yourself see what victory tastes like. You won't let yourself get a fair shot at winning and being happy. Something in you that is deeply rooted from something that's probably done bled off onto you simply will not let you succeed and let you have the clear mindset just to make good decisions.
Lord have mercy.
Not great ones, not phenomenal, not amazing, not spectacular. Good, basic, moral, and ethic decisions. And until you figure out why, you're not going to have any success doing too much consistently.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
That's the reality that some of y'all have placed yourself. This is the bubble some of y'all have placed yourself in. And at any given moment, the shit could pop again. So, I think I got more to say. Part 2 on the way. Fuck it.